Jonathan Ashworth doesn't always get it right when he's doing interviews, and he can have a pretty hard time sometimes. However, today what he said on Sky News was spot on.
He can't get a grip of anything, can he? You know, he can't deal with the NHS, the boats are still coming, prices in the shops are still crippling for a lot of people. He really is in action, man. But the key thing is, 12 months ago, the Conservatives ran our economy off a cliff. They crashed the economy, and people are paying so much more, hundreds of pounds more on their mortgage as a consequence. And now for Liz Truss to be coming out saying she wants to give all these awards and honours to her cronies. And, you know, get this, right? She's writing a book. Can you believe this? She's writing a book, you couldn't make this up, called 10 Years to Save the West, after spending 49 days as Prime Minister trashing the economy. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Today, Liz Truss has been trying to rewrite history by claiming it was everybody else's fault for the economy crashing. She blamed the blob, she blamed the media, she blamed civil servants. So now, 1 year on from ruining everyone's mortgages, she's trying to give Sunak economic anxiety, and she thinks that she still should be entitled to this honours list. On it, apparently there are 14 people that helped crash the economy, and it's clear that the Prime Minister won't show any backbone and he will just allow it to go through.
So you want Rishi Sunak to block Liz Truss's resignation honours list. I mean, do you think anything will really come of this?
Well, look, the key issue here is that it's 12 months now since that quite disastrous set of decisions the Conservative government took, which ran our economy off a cliff. It led to a run on pension funds. It means that homeowners are paying hundreds, if not thousands of pounds more on their mortgages. And at the same time, I think something like 300 billion has been wiped off the value of properties. So people's mortgages going up, rent going up, and the value of properties coming down because of decisions taken by the Conservative government 12 months ago. And now for Liz Truss to be out here today saying, you know, it was a London dinner party circuit that blocked her, when people in Leicester, in Ashfield, in Bury and Bolton and Bolsover are paying more for food, I think is just extraordinary. If Rishi Sunak had any backbone, he would block this Liz Truss list today, because I don't think businesses, hard-working families paying so much more on their mortgage think that list should go ahead. In many ways, it's a kick in the teeth. But I mean, and by the way, you know, Labour Prime Ministers didn't do these resignation honours. Gordon Brown and Tony Blair didn't do this. Right? And they were in government for a lot longer than the 49 days that Liz Truss was Prime Minister.
During her statement, she was asked twice if she would consider retracting her honours list. Both times she just ignored the question. So what do you think? Should she be entitled to this list, like her predecessors? Or should it be blocked? Should there be new rules for future Prime Ministers? Or is it just a hullabaloo about nothing? Let me know down in the comments.
Well, Liz Truss crashed the economy. She caused untold damage and pain for nearly every single household in the country, with increased rent and increased mortgage costs. Her 47 days should not justify a resignation honours list, especially if it's likely to be Tory donors, those people that stuffed the Liz Truss for Leader campaign with cash, who are going to be rewarded after her disastrous and reckless time in office. Rishi Sunak should block the honours list, but I fear he'll be too weak to do so and too weak to stand up to his own party in doing that. But this is simply, honours should be there to celebrate the very best of our country, not the very worst times in our politics.
In your speech, you've blamed a host of people for the problems that you encountered in government. Just to go back to Faisal's question, is there no sense of humility or apology you want to make to British people whose mortgage rates have gone up? Secondly, will you do Rishi Sunak a political favour and withdraw your honours resignation list?
So just on this point about interest rates and mortgage rates, the point I made earlier, Kitty, is that those rates were going up anyway. I think the political failure was to tell people that the rates have been artificially too low too long. And in fact, the rates have gone higher since the mini-budget than they were during the time of the mini-budget. And this has not been a point that's been reflected by the media at all. I mean, I admit that the communication wasn't as good as I would want it to be. I mean, we were in a fairly unusual situation of a leadership election, a period of a hiatus. Very sadly, the late Queen died, so there were difficult circumstances. But of course, you know, I would have wished things to turn out differently. But what I tend to find in these types of questions I get from the media is people aren't criticising the policy, but I think underlying what everybody who criticise the methodology say is they don't really like the policy. The tax cuts we were introducing were not major tax cuts. They would have made a fairly marginal difference, in fact, to the level of the deficit. But what they were is about showing a new direction for Britain, and that's what I wanted to do.
So the gentleman with the glasses.
Although the questions were fairly tame at her speech, what they could have asked her could have really gone to town with her. But at least she stuck around for these ones, unlike when she was Prime Minister. Then she just ran away. And to see that, the video's on screen now. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.